Hello, welcome to the series where we're going to be going over an application that both University at Buffalo and Rock Connect of Rochester City School District share. We have been visiting the Gale group and their resources in the first couple of episodes in this series. In this one, we are going to be looking at another Gale resource. We are going to be starting off at again, the university library, going into the database. Again, we can type in the database by keyword, but for the purpose of the training, we're going to hit the magnifying glass. This brings you to the database by title. We are going to hit G for Gale, and we are going to scroll down to Gale in Context, Environmental Studies. It is important to point out that the subheading says coverage of environmental research, issues, policies, and decision making in the form of full text, journal articles, news story, interactive maps, statistical data, refereed, case studies, podcasts, and more. It does only. But for the purpose of this training, in order to share resources that both University at Buffalo and also Rock Connect at Rochester City School District share, we are going to be using it from the UB website. We are on the Gale in Context Environmental Studies. Every year, the seniors do complete a capstone project on a topic they are interested in. One of the topics that does come up is the environmental at large. Their students are concerned about the extreme weather that we have been experiencing, the pollution that they're seeing. This will be a great research resource for them to use to back up some of the topics they're interested in. One thing to also remember is that this is off the University at Buffalo Gale group. Therefore, the content may be a higher level reading, but for the purpose of this professional development, in order to make sure everyone have access to the resources, please keep in mind that if you were to look in the Gale group resources from a school district, the content might be a little bit more high school friendly. So let's start off with the fact that many of this have the Gale have similar features. They have a browse issues, title list, search history, get link, highlights, and notes. Students might even use this as a jumping off point. It says here issues of interest, overfishing, and they could explore this topic. Wildfires, just very recently in Rochester, New York, we experienced the aftermath of some wildfires that happened in Canada. Floods, again, something that we have been also experiencing in Rochester, New York. And as we go down more, talks about Earth systems, energy, global change, the living world, legislation, organization, land and water use, pollution, population, states and province. It's browse all 469 issues. For the purpose of the training today, we are going to go and look more of global change, something that a lot of the students are concerned about. What I did when I first got onto Gale in Context is that keeping in mind we're doing a walkthrough through the resource is kind of scrolling to see what is offering us. So I scroll down and then I found an issue topic that I was interested in, and I hit more into it, clicked into it. So again, just looking over this very quickly and glancing it, I'm also already seeing global warming, extreme weather, climate justice, climate activism, sustainable food. Our school does have their own garden and also greenhouse on the third floor. So a lot of things that the student waste reduction, a lot of topics that students are interested in. Since we were talking about extreme weather, I am going to hit on extreme weather. It provides an overview for it. The am able to click onto it. Once I am on here, the setup again is very similar for all Gale resources, whether it is the university level or the city school district level. Again, when you look at it, you can see the author who edited it, when this was dated. We have been teaching our students to find more recent information when they're looking at things. This is from 2008. It's a good starting point, but we do want to encourage our students to find more information that's dated more recent. It does tell us where they got this information from. In addition, this one even tells us the content level and even the lexile measure, which can help the teachers and even some of the students check if this is a resource that's friendly to them. Before I scroll any further, I do want to point out these features up here. Our students do use the Purdue format, and the Google format for the documentation for the citation. However, there is a great citation tool on here for MLA, APA, Chicago, and even Harvard. Again, they can export this right into their Google Drive that's connected to all their features on their Chromebook. In addition, they can download this onto their Chromebook to read later. And this feature, a lot of students really like the highlighting, especially if there's something important that they want to go back to. Um, especially when it's on the Chromebook, this gives them an option to make any color they want. Add a little note. I think we can all think of one or two students that will love this feature. So we're going to erase this for now. And going back up here a little bit, again, this does just for a translation for some of our students that speak English as a second language. Does decrease font size, increase font size, the display option, changing their coloring, since many of them do complain their screen's too bright. There is a listen feature. Again, it does connect to our Google Drive. Some of this is more important to us since the students can't connect to print and all that fun stuff. Before I scroll down any further, there is an explore sidebar over here that shows additional resources that might be connected to this topic that students might find some interest in. Extreme weather tormenting the planet will worsen due to global warming, UN panel finds. A little bit horrifying, the topic, but it is definitely relevant to this topic right here. And a lot of these does have some links to within it. So once I put over, I hover over it for the word snow, it just says related articles for snow. Encourage students to click on it and see, especially if they're still exploring the topic. Talks about the historical background, scientific foundations, and even separates out more into sections. There are some definitions that will help many of our students, and it prevents some of our having to do another tab and checking what's on there. It goes down to more examples of extreme weather. So a lot of frequent questions. This is a great way for them to find that, create some of the questions that they're trying to create for their capstone projects. And then going down further, it does really nicely show where some of this information comes from, which might also lead students to check out some of these resources that they can. Again, this video was a quick walkthrough on another Gale group resource. It's called Gale in Context, Environmental Studies. And a nice thing about Gale is that it does leave a trail of when students are researching. So I can easily hit back and go back to home. And again, what I did was I scrolled down and I browsed the issues. However, if a student has a specific issue that they have in mind, say I type in global warming, this does bring me to a variation of it. So they could still search it themselves, they can browse it. It has a lot of ways, roadways for our students to explore things. I scrolled down to browse the issue, but as mentioned earlier, there's a little icon here that they can browse the issue. It's very friendly for beginning users. If you have any questions, there is going to be a form on the Google Classroom that you are more than welcome to fill out. I will be checking them. If you feel more comfortable filling out and emailing me, I will be quick to respond to email. We can always schedule one-on-one if you want additional support. And as always, you can always find me at the library. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for taking time to watching it.